Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome back to Honeybee Farmstead. I'm Mel.
I'm Grace.
And that's Grace. And so we're going to head out to milk. The guys are coming in because they've heard my voice. The calves are locked away. And what I thought I would do with this video is show you some training techniques with your young heifers and or cows. It can be applied to either adult cows or young calves. It is better done with young calves, but it can be done pretty much any time, especially if you're working with, say, Jerseys. So that's where my specialty is. But I have done it with crossbreeds and other breeds before. So we are training Flossie, the little baby that Bonnie had not that long ago. You saw that video. And yeah, I thought I'd take you along for it because that's one of the most commonly asked questions. My Facebook Messenger lights up quite frequently with, oh, I've just bought this cow, how do I start training it? So let's do that and see how we go. She thinks you're her baby too. Look at this mayhem. So while we're here, I thought I'd give you a little update. My chickie girls, it's spring, so we've got eggs in the incubator. Hello, my girls. Now, we did get given a buck recently. Well, she was giving it away for free, and then all of a sudden the deal's changed, but I'm not going to go into that. We got given a buck. He was a Nigerian dwarf buck, and our lovely girls here. So this is Maisie, Molly, and Dotty Dot. And these ladies are all pregnant now. So these guys are purebred Anglo-Nubians. Look at the beautiful girls. They've got the best temperament of all the goats, in my opinion.
Look, homemade milking. Woo!
And yeah, we've been desensitizing them since they were young, haven't we, little guys?
She squats when you try to...
Anyway, they're all pregnant. So they're in our backyard, having a good forage of all this beautiful green. And you gorgeous girl, what's you? So they're very sweet. They're going to be our milky girls. So yeah, fingers crossed we get quite a few doe kids. Yeah, the Aqaponics is going. So we've got it running. Oh, it's actually doing its cycle now. So that's good timing. And basically it's on a timer, fills up those over there. And the good thing about this is that the rain has pretty much filled these tanks up for us. So we're just waiting for it to pretty much be clear, and we're going to get some fish into this and get this cranking. This is the update on the shade. So it's not quite finished. Things always take our attention away from what we're supposed to be doing. But yeah, it's been basically pulled tight in the center with, it's like shed strapping, this stuff here. Oop. And we use that to hold it down so it's nice, it stays nice and taut, and yeah, it doesn't flap about and things like that. All right, we ready to go, honey?
Yeah, ready.
The gate actually got hung, but what's going on here?
Someone...
We'll leave these ladies in here.
Someone did that. And now it's stuck.
All right, well, that'll be fine. Now, these are our cleaning buckets. What do we got going on? We had to lock the turkeys away because they were killing our roosters. I will actually insert that video into this. This is what I've been trying to tell people is why you don't keep turkeys and chickens together in spring. Now this guy has just slaughtered that rooster by sitting on him and basically crushing the air out of his lungs because they see other males of any other species a threat to their breeding.
Hey,
Grace,
yeah.
move. He's already dead. I want to show people why. So that this is what they do. When you find, if you've got turkeys running with your other animals, when you find a dead one that you can't explain, like we found this morning but left it there to see what the go was, this is why. This is how it happens.
Okay, it's dead, my dad.
So we're going to take that body away, and we are going to lock the turkeys up by themselves with their wings clipped so they can't get out, because it's that time of the year. Hello ladies, you're looking terrible, aren't you, Mia? She's in working condition, but we like them to have a lot more coverage than that. But what's happened is we got Peanut back from Rockpile, and she decided to start feeding on Mia
again.
Even though she should have been well and truly weaned. Sometimes
she was there for like
happen.
6 months.
Yeah, I know, she was there for quite some time. Alright, so part of the training process for me, now everyone does it differently, and I'm just giving you my opinion on what I do. What I have found to work over the time that I have had my cows. The younger you can start, the better. That is the first hint. So if you happen to buy a heifer that's already been raised, you can't really do anything about that, right? You didn't have that animal. But as soon as you get it, we suggest that you put a halter on it. So it is handy to have an area that you can pull the animal into from the very beginning. So this is just a basic milk stanchion that we put together. Now, if I was going to advise anyone building this again, this is much too wide for just a milking stanchion. However, when we reassessed it and put it up to here at the new farm, we left it as wide as it was because we found this was the perfect length to have the disbudding thing put on there and have the calves disbudded in here as well. So that's why we've left it wide, and I find it's not that bad, for me, because I just ask my cows to step out, and they step out nice and wide, so I've got access to their udders. But the best way to do anything, so if you've got a cow that you've just purchased and she's a lot bigger than you and you're worried or concerned about getting hurt while handling her, put some food in. Cows are super food motivated. You put some food in and you close up the head bale, right? Then they can't get their head out of there. When they've got their head in there and they're secure and you're safe, put a halter on. Now, there are like specific cow halters that you can purchase. I love them, I rate them, but they're more expensive than horse halters. So we have found that horse halters work too, and our cows really only wear a halter until they're trained and until they're like coming when they're cold and they're used to wearing it and they've done the tie-up training. They don't wear them all the time. I really don't like them wearing them all the time. Just like you'll notice that sometimes they get rub marks and that. Like I've purchased Josephine and she's got little rub marks on her nose where her halter was sitting. So yeah, I have purchased different halters that'll change that with like lamb's wool on the inside and that. It's spoiled, but you can also get them that have got padding on the spots that wear, which are great. But yeah, there's a whole range of different sizes, and we've got, this is a foal one, but yeah, basically as soon as they're old enough to wear a halter, I've got them ready so that they can get used to it. Basically, just like humans, the younger you can start anything, doing something, the less stress involved, and the more it's just like that's their normal life. They don't have to change or adapt to something that they're not used to. It's their life. It is what it is. So that's your best option. Here we go. And now these girls, hence why they're not wearing halters, are super trained, and they come and line up. They know it's milking time and they're ready and waiting. See Josephine's nose? I don't like that to happen. So I've bought some nice soft show halters. But yeah, we are going to go over and get Flossie because part of the training process is Grace doing grooming and things like that. So we have at our milking stand, like I think the grooming stuff's inside the yard. This is for hoof grooming, to wash them and stuff. This is for any sores or cuts, any fungal infections. Sometimes every now and again you'll get one. It's got what's it called? Ringworm. It's just a fungal infection. Means their immune system's a bit low. Outdoor fogger, if it's really, flies are really bugging them, but I try not to use it because they do get used to it. And then this sort of thing if they've got sore eyes or anything like that. So I have my udder balm there and my natural castor oil. I use natural remedies as much as I possibly can. The only time I use anything pharmaceutical for my animals is if the natural stuff's not working, which I don't find happens often. So we have in here, oh, it's so wet. Now this is all mulch rather than it being cow poo. So in here you'll see where little Flossie was tied up last time, and you will see where Grace left her grooming brushes. We find these are really good, just an all-purpose scrubbing brush, so really like a hard bristle. So if you make, from a young age, if you make it an enjoyable, fun process, and they actually really enjoy being brushed because it simulates their mum licking them, which is like a sign of affection, and makes them feel like they're a part of the family or a part of the crew, then that's the nicest way to start. But sometimes, especially if you have to start late, you might get a stubborn cow, and Bonnie, Flossie's mum, came to us quite stubborn and not halter trained or anything like that, and because she was already set in her ways, it was a little bit more difficult to do. Well, not difficult, but it just took longer. So I'm going to get the lead rope here, and once we get her over here, we'll clip her onto the one that's already tied off. But yeah, so we do this and we basically leave them standing until they stop fighting the lead rope and the halter. So I'm going to put some footage in now of the very first time that Flossie got put on a lead rope, which was yesterday, and show you how they react, and then we'll come back to you and show you how she is today. First day of tie-up training for Flossie. You pretty girl. She's not liking it, but then her mum hates a halter too, so that's why we have to do it nice and early. Flossie! We want you not pulling on your halter and being a good girl before we'll let you off. What you doing, honey? Hey. Good girl. You're almost ready to be disbutted, aren't you, little sweetie? Good girl. So we'll get down here. That's it. We don't want you pulling. So you're going to have to relax before we'll let you off, little sweetie. Now her mum, Bonnie, is the worst. Look at those little horn nubs. Tiny. They're almost non-existent. Hey. Your mama is a savage and very, very ill-behaved on the halter. So you're going to stay there until you've learned how to be a good girl. I don't reckon these are going to even turn into horns. They're little tiny little nubs. Look at them. Still movable. Come on. And this little girl went to rock pile for ages, so was pretty well weaned, weren't you, Peanut? But you've decided you're going to drink off the mummas again. And she's drinking off Mia. So Mia's condition has dropped, so we're going to put a weaning nose ring in. Now I hate these things, but really we have no other option right now with Peanut, because we sent her away, so that was the nicest way to wean her. And we thought she was away long enough. How long has she been there? 6 months?
Yeah.
6 months, and she should be fully weaned, but she's not. Hello, little love.
Is that weird?
It's good girl. You're halter trained, aren't you, sweetie? Yep.
So Mum does is just make sure she's comfortable, and then she just pops the ring in.
She will hate it, so she's gonna fight me. Yeah. There we go.
And that's how it goes.
Once it's in,
And then you just
we
screw
need
it.
to tighten so that the ends come together, but not too tight that we're going to put little holes in her nose.
Because
So
that's
when
not
you're
good.
tightening it, you don't want to feel it really clamp on here, but you don't want to lose it either because they can rip them out. So that feels tight enough, doesn't it, little sweet girl? Look, skeleton poop. Good girl, Peanut. Good girl, Peanut. Oh, we can let you off now because you're being a very good girl.
And that little one.
Very well behaved. But you're already halter broken, aren't you, sweetie?
She hasn't lost her winter coat.
She's losing it. Look, coming out. We just groom her.
How about Flossie? What are we going to do with her? Let her off?
No, look, she's standing nice. We want her standing like that. We want her standing nice and relaxed and no pulling. And we'll reward her for that behaviour. See how the rope at the front is nice and loose? She's given. If we don't... Come around this way. She's flicking her foot because she got tangled.
Yeah.
If we let her off while she's doing this...
She just knows that she's going to get away with it again.
No, she'll just always pull and think that's how you get off. Whereas if you go nice and loose and relaxed, that's it, girl. So let's do some stuff that you like.
And if you guys are wondering how soft is she's like a little teddy bear.
She's a good girl. Good girl.
Oh, very good.
So I nearly could have let her off, but because she's done that again, we need to hold up with it.
I can back off again.
There we go.
She likes you when she touches your teats.
She's got 5.
Does she?
Yeah. It doesn't go anywhere.
Come here, look.
This is how we desensitise them to becoming milk cows eventually. Hey. We touch all their legs. See?
I even lift them up.
Yeah, but not while they're pulling. Once they're trained, halter trained, you pull them up. Good girl, Flossie. Pat your back end. Pat your back end.
Oh, look at her. She's carrying on.
AI tech will touch your back end a lot, won't they? Hey?
She wants it off.
Good girl. Of course she does. She wants to be able to feed. I don't want
She's
her
like,
feeding.
I know what this is.
Walk forward.
Oh,
Good girl.
good girl.
Good girl.
Good girl. Nope. Gotta walk Clementine over.
Yep.
And then
Put her with the ball.
that's our day
You
done.
got some poop on you. Oh, you can wait.
She's definitely Bonnie's mum. I mean
Bonnie's
baby.
cow. Turn around.
And that's not hurting her at all.
No, not at all. This is how we touch desensitise. So they're used to being touched all over. Eventually they like it. They realise that, oh, that feels nice.
Like Clementine always.
So when she was first born, we touched her heaps and then we left her for a bit, didn't we?
Yeah. which I regret.
So using a brush sort of mimics mum kissing him. You know, mum licks them all over.
Yeah.
They end up really loving it. Look at her little horn nubs, they're tiny.
Wait, okay. Oh, look at their little horn nubs.
I don't think because they're still free floating too, so I don't think they'll eventuate.
I reckon we could leave her horns on. Actually, no, that's a bad idea.
I don't think so. I'm going to have them removed. No dairy cows with horns, please.
Are you going to let her off? She looks
She's
nice.
doing a good job. She's standing nice and still. So you just keep doing it until they're nice and calm. Good job. That's enough for today. That's your first little go at it. Good job. Good girl. Good girl.
You know you're off.
She doesn't know she's off. But that's how we know she's ready, because she's standing calmly. She didn't bolt off. See, when she's not resisting it, it just all of a sudden is off. Good girl. All right, babies. Oh, did you break your halter? Little lady. So this is Peanut. She's got her. Hi, Floss. Look at that beautiful little girl. Righto.
Come on, Flossie. Come for a walk. Let's go.
I'm going to guard this.
Oh.
All right, I'll go.
I'll go this side.
Yep,
Look at Flossie.
in the corner. No, yep. Got her. Got her.
You got it?
Now.
Yeah, okay. I got it.
Okay, we waited later than we normally would to deal with Flossie because we wanted, that's it, you hold her. So when you want them to move and they're doing this, pulling against you, you lift their tail and they go. And you can guide them that way too. So quite often if we want her to walk, we're going to assist. Assist Gracie, hold her so she can't get to Bonnie's udder. Alright. I'm just going to tie this up, Bub, okay? Just wait there. Alrighty. Come on, little lady. Good job. You keep control of their head, and someone helps guide the back end when they don't want to go. Good girl, Bonnie. Good girl, darling. Come on, Flossie Doss. Let's go.
Remember, you're good yesterday. Come on.
In we go. So you don't often need someone behind pushing them, but this is her first time being walked on a lead. So we find that they resist it, and you just gently lift the tail, which leads them forward. If you're having struggles to load a cow on a float, this is the easiest way to get them to move, is push their tail forward. Come on, darling. Come on, Flossie. Do you want to tie her close to here so you can do her right near me and I can show everyone? Right, over here, darling.
Over here?
Yep, on this pole, nice and close. Alrighty. Oh, you know what? In the back of my car, Brock, is some more of these little clips. Can you grab us one? Yep. I'll move the chain over so we can always clip it there. You know the chain?
Yeah, that's right there.
So we have this. This is for training, because you only need a lead rope like for a horse when you've got a little calf. They're not very strong. And you hope to have them trained by the time they're older. But sometimes I've purchased animals that have not been trained at all, but are already adults, and they're a lot stronger, obviously. So how about we put it here, sweetie? We'll put the chain here permanently. So we'll attach it here. We had one here, but the cows have chewed that off. This is what we used to use to tie up. If you're one of our older viewers, you will know that that's what we did last season. But we pop a see, she's not even pulling as hard as she was yesterday. She's doing a good job. And eventually they really love it. So you'll be able to go out into a paddock and just call them See, Grace touches
She's
her
got
little...
an extra nipple.
She does have an extra nipple.
If you
The
guys wanna
bonus
have a
one.
look.
That really
She's got
does.
an extra nipple.
That really doesn't go anywhere. Won't produce milk. The stance we are used to, pulling against us. We're going to put the chain on here and then put a clip on the end of it so that we can just pull her in and clip her on, because she's going to be going through this training process for quite some time.
Oh, she's like a little...
She's going to be our next show cow, isn't she, darling?
Yeah.
All right, we've clipped her on. We've put it up nice and close so that she's not too far in the mud for Grace, and we've left this bit hanging. The more distractions and things like that you can have around them, the better. The more different things you touch them with or have around them, bags, that sort of stuff. It's kind of like breaking a horse.
There it is.
If I can make her bomb proof and she's not afraid of anything, then she's going to be a great cow to show, because as you know, at shows you've got kids that are from the city and don't know much about animals. There's running around, there's screaming, sometimes babies crying, there's announcers over PAs, there's fireworks, there's all kinds of things happen at shows. And you want the animal to be as stress-free as possible. So what we often do is have bonfires where all our cows hang around us and we feed them treats like carrots and things. Oh, she's really resisting. But yeah, so Grace is going to work on her while I milk. And yeah. What's this? Oh, that's come off. I was like, I thought she was bleeding, but it's off something else. So yeah, I'll set the camera up so they can see you doing all the different grooming. And I'll start cracking on with the milking.
Mum.
Yeah, good girl, Flossie.
You're getting there. You're getting the hang of it. Here. Stop resisting. You're okay. Look. Good girl. Flossie, come back. You're okay.
You going first, Joe?
You're okay.
That's the command.
So usually I just lift up, put your bum close to her leg so you're not far away.
Someone purchased
And just
a
pick it up.
homestead cow from me.
Just pick it up like that.
I help them and mentor
And
them
you
as
just
well.
help her lean
Which
because
comes
she
with sort of
doesn't have both of her
teaching
legs.
How to
And then
operate
pick it up.
the animal they purchased from us,
And then
so that they know all the little tips and
when you
tricks
want to do her back
that I
legs,
use for that animal.
when you want to do these
For
legs,
example,
you
Dierdre
just
just
go
went to her new home.
like that.
She's being a foster mom on a beach day, and the first few days, because she didn't know her new owner,
Then you just make sure that you know that she's there and
she
everything.
sort of didn't really know what to do and what to expect, so I had to give him all the little
And then if we want
like
to let
words
her
and stuff that I
go,
would
we
use.
just
And here we go. This is a good thing to learn. Milking machine, I get asked this all the time. I'm going to
Mum's just going to put the milking machine on. You kind of just want to get all the yuck food out. And yeah, it's been good so far. If you guys see this loop, if you want to give her back to her mum and she's not pulling against, you can let her go. But if she's pulling against, do not let her up. Or then she's just going to know that she's going to get away with it again. So, yeah. Yeah. You just want to make sure you're sure with her. Come on. So I usually walk around, but but I think I'm not gonna walk around.
We do a couple of weeks of this before she gets used to you, and then we can walk her around.
Yeah.
Right, let me do mine now. All right, now the hardest part about getting
When she's doing that, you don't turn it
trained
off
is getting her out
because
of the
she's
stand.
just gonna keep doing it.
And this is where you want to end up. Head bail open, standing beautifully. Okay with my touch. She doesn't even notice I'm here. With the next one lined up, ready to go. And you're waiting to feed your baby, aren't you? Hey, you're a good girl. So yeah, we get cracking on washing. But if this animal was not in milk and was still being trained, I still pull them into here and I get them to eat while I groom them, and I touch them all over. They're used to being touched around the hind quarters and things, because if you want to AI your cow, your AI tech will be in there touching them, and the less stressed they are, the better. Now she can move anytime she likes. Okay, Bonnie, she can pull her head out and walk off. She's not contained at all, but she's quite comfortable, quite happy, because she's had this done so many times. So I'll just put you guys down and get washing her and get started milking her and show you how she goes. Good girl, Joe. Well done, honey. Now we're drying Joe off because Joe's been AI'd and she will be having another baby in 9 months' time, or 8 months. It's been about a month since she was AI'd. And that is a long time to have her dry, but she fed her own calf and 4 other calves this season, her very first season. So she also produced milk every single day for my friend Joseph's homestead. So she worked really hard her first season. So, I mean, she's looking really good now. She's in good nick, but I like to make sure that they've recovered and put on enough condition, and that we're not drawing too much from the animal in order to get milk. I'd like her to be able to feed her calf quite happily and comfortably with no issues. Aqaponics, see, she hasn't flinched a bit, and if I didn't like how close her legs were together, I would just tap her leg and tell her to step out. That's the commands I use. I'm sure everyone does it differently. Depends on, your language, I guess. But when someone purchases a homestead cow from me, I help them and mentor them as well, which comes with sort of teaching them how to operate the animal they purchase from me, so that they know all the little tips and tricks that I've used for that animal. So, for example, Dierdre just went to her new home. She's being a foster mum on a beef stud, and the first few days, because she didn't know her new owner, she sort of didn't really know what to do and what to expect. So I had to give him all the little words and stuff that I would use. And here we go. This is a good thing to learn. Milking machine, I get asked this all the time. I'm going to talk louder so that you can hear me. You turn it on, have them all kinked over to put them on, kink it back, attach it and drop it down, attach it. Once it's on, you adjust so that it's sitting nice and central and it's not pulling either way. You make sure it's on the teats nice and square. Good girl, Joe. Oh, what's going on? Now, because I'm drying off Josephine, I haven't milked her for 4 days. I didn't just start doing that because she's a high production animal. I went to milking her once a day. Then after a week of that, I went to once every 2 days. The following week, I went to once every 3 days. We're in the 4th week of me trying to dry her off now. So we're milking her every 4 days. And when I do it, I don't milk her completely out. That tells her body that the demand is a lot less, so we don't need to produce as much. So I make sure I only milk half of the milk out of her. And slowly, her supply has gone from 15 litres a day to we're probably getting about 5 now. So we're safely getting her to a point where we can stop milking, but we would still always keep checking her udder to make sure that nothing builds up and no mastitis happens, because that can happen out of the blue if she isn't dried off properly. There is another option, and that's the stuff called dry cow, where you just put it in their teats and they dry up. I don't like using chemicals, as you guys know if you've been here for very long, so I like to do it the old-fashioned way, where we slow down the demand and the supply gets less and less until nothing at all. So see, her udder's almost at half capacity, and I'm going to turn this machine off now. All right, now the hardest part about getting Josephine trained is getting her out of the stand. So check this out. We've finished milking, and what she likes me to do so that she gets every bit of her feed is to tip her spill tray back into her feed tub. But we're not going to do that. The other thing with drying a cow off that I didn't mention, there's a lot to it, and this is not what this video is about, but as she's already here, I thought I'd talk about it, is the feed that you're feeding her. You feed her much, much, much less. So the more feed that you're feeding the animal, the more they're going to produce. So we drop their feed right down in conjunction with less feeding and stuff like that. So yeah, but this is not what this video is about. We're talking about training. So while Jo's finishing her breakfast, I'll talk about a couple of other things that we use should we have quite a difficult cow. And I do get them. Sadie was terrible for me, and Bonnie, in fact, was an awful cow when I first got her. I think it was because of trauma, but previous trauma in her life, but we can never tell, so we don't know. Right, here we have a pair of hobbles. Now these are nice, gentle Velcro hobbles with leather that protects them against the buckle so that they're not getting hurt. So safety for the animal is paramount for us and should be for everyone owning an animal. If worst comes to worst and we have a really bad kicker, which I don't at the moment, but I just have it here. Sometimes when they go into heat, they get quite kicky and quite sort of nasty. So you can attach this to the bottom of your milking stand and put the other thing on their leg. Once they know it's on there, yeah, there's generally no kicking because they know they can't get you, and it's just a safety precaution. The other thing we do, you might have seen in other videos. Now, Jo doesn't need it because she's very well behaved, so I'm not going to put it on, but basically, this is not purpose-built. This is just what we have created to do the thing. It's a belly rope. So it goes up, over there, down the other side. We hook the two together and we can tighten it if we need to around this part of their belly. Now she doesn't need it because she's a very good girl, but we have that there just in case we should need it as well. Now we never use both because they both do the same thing. This belly rope tightens over the spine, which basically doesn't allow the cow to lift their leg high enough to kick you. So you use one or the other. I prefer this one because with this one here, you would have to have their head locked away first and the back gate shut so no one can upset them or interfere with them. But also so they cannot leave the milking stand half attached to this. So you wouldn't just put this on with the head bail open, because if she decided, I don't like this, I'm going to run off, one of her legs is attached to this, and that is when you will have accidents and injuries and all kinds of drama. So the first port of call if your cow was misbehaving is to close the head bail so they can't pull their head out, and then anything else from there can be done to them. But you want to have them contained so that if they react poorly to either of these things, which doesn't happen often if you're doing it right, but I'm sure it could, that's why I'm doing the disclaimer, you have to have the head bail in first. And the same goes for tails. Now all of my girls, I'm very fussy. I like really well-mannered cows. Now there's no flies today, but you'll notice she's kept her tail very, very still and down at the back. Some of my cows, when they're first training, will flick you with their tail flat out, hit you in the face with a big, dirty, pooey, wet tail. So we will tie that up so it's up and out of the way like that. She doesn't need it and they don't like it. So if she's behaving, I'm not going to do that. But if she was misbehaving, I would never tie her tail up out of my way if that was open. Because if she decides she doesn't like it, again, she's going to pull out of there and she will not stop to let you take that off. She'll rip the end of her tail off and then you cause an injury. So none of these things get done unless the head bale is closed and that animal is safe and not able to go anywhere. Okay? They're my safety disclaimers. Oh, Grace has just been doing the video.
I'm just going to leave her standing there because she keeps resisting me.
Yep.
And I don't want to let her off because then she'll know that she's going to get away with it next time.
Yep.
So,
yeah. So as I explained in the video you saw before that we did yesterday, if that animal is resisting you and pulling and pulling and pulling, we don't let them off.
No.
She could stay there, not in that spot, but I would put her near water.
Yes.
But she could stay there half the day if she needed to. If she was very defiant and an adult cow that I was working on and just wouldn't get the picture, she would stay there half the day. Because she's a baby and we're doing this gently and we're doing it just bit by bit and getting her used to it in the nicest way we can, she's not going to stay there half the day. She's going to probably stay there until her mum is finished being milked, and then we'll reunite them. And that's her treat. As long as she's standing with the chain nice and loose and she's nice and relaxed, we'll let her off and let her feed with her mum. So that's her reward for being a good girl and learning that she's not in any danger. Now, even though Mia is really well behaved, she's actually not bothered by this. So I thought I would show you what I mean by the belly rope. You see it goes before the udder. None of this is digging into her. It's very loose because she doesn't actually need it tightened. But that's where it sits. If we needed it tightened, we just pull that tighter and it stops her lifting her leg to be able to kick. But she actually doesn't need it. I was just doing it as a demonstration for you guys. If you were worried, like when I first started training her, she had literally never been handled. Never wore a halter, never been handled. So even after we had finished training her with this, I used to leave it sitting there unhooked for a couple of weeks just in case she started to carry on. But honestly, Mia never really did that. She never ever carried on or never kicked or never hurt anyone. So I probably didn't need it at all, but because she's such a large animal and I really had no idea what she'd be like because we purchased her already grown straight off a farm where she hadn't been handled, I like to set it up so that I couldn't get in any danger or kicked or anything like that. I hope that helps. I've actually got to stop because the milk tub's full. Sieve in. This is actually a honey sieve that you buy. You can buy them on Temu to strain your honey through, but I actually love it as a milk sieve as well. Now we've got a full tub of milk.
It's a full tub.
Ready?
Oh, what's that white stuff?
Cream.
Butter.
Huh?
Butter. Look at butter. There's a chicken in there.
Yeah.
And she's still got milk in her udder, so we're going to just...
That's
that?
a lot more than
Yeah.
Jojo,
get out.
That's butter.
This is Sophie. Now you guys might remember Sophie from way back when she was just a little baby. Now she's already fully trained and is about to go to her new home, aren't you, Soph? Hey, you're a good girl. So we still do a little bit of tie up because she's been over in the paddock with the bull getting pregnant, and you know, they forget sometimes, so we just get them in when we get them in our yards. We pat them again. Yeah, over here.
It's coming.
There we go. Because she,
Jeez.
there we go. Because she is
The other one needs to
has wait a minute, the rope's in the way. There we go. Because she is used to being over in the paddock and hasn't been handled a lot for a while. Like, she remembers it all. They do. But if you see, no desensitization. I mean, full desensitization. She's got no kicking action or nothing.
And it was easy grabbing her and everything.
See, little titties. Good girl. So she's fully used to being handled. You see the difference between her and say Flossie. We worked on her when she was a baby. So then she's no stress at all when we bring her in as an adult cow. Now she's, what's she now, 1.5? Nearly. Yeah, she'll be 2 when she calves.
Not even flinching, fine. She doesn't even have a fine nipple.
No, she's got beautiful udder, that one. So she's actually already got a home. She's been sold to.
That looks like a hand milking teat.
Yeah, they are nice big hand milky teats. So she's a perfect dual purpose breed. So she's a half Jersey, half Dexter. Her sire is a Dexter, her mother is a Jersey. So Dexter's already being a dual purpose animal means that she's going to be a beautiful little house cow for her next home. She's going to live Denmark, down in Denmark, in the southwest of Western Australia. Food is the best motivator. Cows love food. They also love pats and cuddles. But yeah, basically desensitizing them to all touch and tap. You go along, see? No reaction, not even a flinch. Initially they flinch, she's not even flinching. Hey?
Do you reckon I would be able to walk under it?
There's her. So we touch the little teats and we touch that area. No dramas.
Belly. Good
Good job, Sophie. There you have it. So I thought we'd show you one that we're just starting and one that we've done. And it's good as well to show a comparison. It really doesn't matter what breed your cow is. She's a dual purpose cross milking breed. She was a little bit flightier as a calf than I've noticed our Jerseys are. But you know what? She came around fine. And she has, she hasn't even looked up from eating. She has a lot of trust for us. If we never put her in a situation where she's in any danger, she's fine. We're keeping her in here. This is our nursery pen where normally the mummas birth. It's right up close to the house, as you can see behind me. We're going to keep her in here because her new owners are coming to meet her and have a cuddle with her tomorrow. So yeah, the other thing that I sort of suggest to people, if you want to get yourself a cow but haven't yet, and you're just watching this out of, training for later, one of the things I say to people is to try and have a relationship with the person that you're buying the cow from. If the person's doing it for the right reasons, selling them off for the right reasons and wants to see you have a great time, they should have no problem being contacted down the line by you and asking questions about the animal. I raised and train and stand behind every cow that I sell to people. So I offer lifetime mentorship and support once that person's purchased an animal from me. In fact, I'll tell you a quick story before we sign off. We sold Dierdre, my first ever cow, and I'm only just able to talk about it now because it was quite an emotional thing for me. Now, there was a few reasons we did it. She was going to be my forever cow, but in the stand, she holds her milk back, something shocking. She still does that from being milked because she'd rather feed it to babies. So when the gentleman that I sold her to asked me, he sort of told me a bit about himself and what he was looking for. He's basically looking for a Jersey because of nostalgia, because he used to milk them when he was a kid with his grandparents. But also he has a meat, I think they're Murray Grey stud, and he wanted a cow that would adopt babies and feed babies. So if there's any orphans and things like that, she would be able to raise them. And that's my Dierdre, as you guys know. You've seen her raise many babies over the time. So yeah, just a few little things didn't make her our perfect house cow, and one of those was holding back her milk. She doesn't do it when she's feeding babies, of course. And she is absolutely perfect and bomb-proof when it comes to being led around and cuddled on by children and all that stuff. So this gentleman has some little kids, and that's sort of what he wanted. So I try and match the cow that I sell to the home that's after that animal. Not everyone does that. It's not as important to everyone. But having that mentorship is super important, because what ended up happening was she went to a new home. She's really never been off our homestead. She went with no one that she knows. Yes, she had other cows and other cow friends that she can live with, but she reacted poorly. She did not like it. She, kicked out at the baby that she was given and stuff. So, and this guy is, he's educated on livestock and particularly cows, and even he was like, I don't know what to do. So what he did is actually go and rescue a calf that had been born on a slaughter floor in an abattoir and brought it home for her to raise, so that he wouldn't have to be milking her every day, and he wasn't going to risk her udder being in any sort of strife, because all the cows from this season, all the orphans from this season, he's already raised. Anyway, Dierdre reacted really poorly. She started kicking the baby and everything and acting like I've never seen her act here. And he really freaked out. So just being able to have a few conversations and me guiding him through Dierdre and the commands that she knows, and what kind of behaviour is natural for her and what is not, and how he can turn it around, was really beneficial to him. It might have been a very negative experience if he didn't have someone that he could turn to as a mentor that used to own that animal. So that's just a big tip that I do recommend to you guys. But if you didn't happen to get that and you did purchase a cow and the person isn't able to contact or whatever, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to answer questions, and a lot of you out there will know I've answered for you before. If I know about the topic, I'll tell you what I know about it, and or give you hints that I think may possibly help you. And again, it's all advice. Every animal is so different. That's another big disclaimer I should say here. Every single animal that you ever get has got a different personality, and how that animal acts on your farm as opposed to where it was bred and raised will be different, because there are things like personality clashes. Some cows don't like male owners, some cows don't like female owners. There is so many different things. You may as well think of them like a human. They're all very different. Yes, we can always work out any issues, but it might take a bit of time. So don't fret, don't stress about it. That's what I'm here for. And if I don't know the answers, I'll try and put you in touch with people that I think will be able to help you. So what do we think? So this is what we do. We like to make homestead cows, and that was one of the questions everyone kept asking. Oh my God, you got rid of Dierdre. I can't believe you did that. And you know what? I can't believe I did that. But it was right for her. This property was where she belongs. And, she wasn't 100% right for us because she holds her milk back, and I always have to work so much harder to get her to let down the milk. But in her situation she's in now, she's perfect for that situation, and they love her too. So I got into this to be able to bless other homesteads with beautiful milk cows, whether they be purebred Jerseys, Jersey Friesians, Jersey Dexter, whatever they are. They all have different bonuses, and like this one being a nice small stature, he's going to be great for a beginner. And she's been raised from a baby with us, so she's really, pretty well bomb-proof. So she's going to be a great little milker.
How do they get poo in their tail?
Well, where's the tail located?
Down there.
Where's the bum located?
Don't they go squat?
Oh, yeah, they do. They get poo in it. Anyway, guys, I hope that was helpful. It is trying to answer as many of the questions that I get as possible, but if you do still have questions after that, please don't forget to comment below. I'm happy to answer those, or hit me up on Facebook on Messenger or on Instagram on Messenger. I'm more than happy to answer questions and help you out. If you're in WA and you'd like to see it done, or come and do some milking and stuff like that, also hit me up about that. I do that for people. Make sure you like this video if you liked it. Share it around with your friends if you think they'll like it. And if you're not already, please consider subscribing. We would really appreciate it. And we'd love to see you again on our next video. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this video. And until the next one, take care of each other.
And bye for now.
Bye for now.